Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Toronto police seeking Jamaican woman on fraud charges. Jodian Bonnick, a Jamaican residing in Canada who was in February this year accused of defrauding a local businesswoman of more than $3 million, is now being sought by the Toronto police for another fraud-related offense. The Toronto Police Service last Friday posted a notice on their website requesting the public's assistance locating Bonnick, who they said is under investigation for fraud amounting to more than 5,000 Canadian dollars. According to police, it is alleged that the victim spoke with Bonnick about business opportunities in September 2022. The victim placed 9 orders for goods worth more than $800,000 that were supposed to be shipped to various retail stores, but the goods were never received. The Toronto police said that 33-year-old Bonnick of King City is wanted for 10 counts of fraud amounting to over 5,000 Canadian dollars, 8 counts of making a false statement to procure money, and 10 counts of possession of proceeds obtained by crime exceeding Canadian $5,000. Bonnick formerly operated a West Indian grocery store on Weston Road near Jean Street in Canada. In February this year, she appeared before Senior Parish Judge Laurent Cole-Montague at the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on accusations of obtaining goods by fraud totaling $3.2 million. The court heard that over time, Bonnick, under the guise of operating a West Indian store, incurred a debt of $3,267,941 from the complainant by allegedly falsely representing herself as the owner of Bonnick West Indian grocery store, contrary to Section 36 of the Larceny Act. The complainant, a small business owner, reportedly extended credit to the accused woman with the hope that the owed amount would be repaid. However, payment was not forthcoming. In response to the allegations, Bonnick's defense counsel stated that upon learning of the accusations, his client promptly paid Canadian $6,000 or Jamaican $627,600 to the complainant. Bonnick, who was detained by police at Norman Manley International Airport upon her arrival in the country on Monday, February 5, was reportedly pregnant and receiving treatment in Canada for a specific condition, her defense attorney informed the court while seeking bail for her client. However, the Crown opposed the bail, citing her dual citizenship as evidence of a potential flight risk. Furthermore, the investigating officer noted that additional individuals had come forward to file complaints against Bonnick, with expectations of more cases being brought before the court. Despite the defense's efforts, Judge Cole-Montague remanded Bonnick. It was not clear on Sunday whether Bonnick is still in Jamaica or is in Canada. Firefighters grieve for corporal killed in St. Mary home invasion. Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford, has indicated that psychosocial support is to be provided to colleagues of Corporal Gary Samuels, who was killed during a gun attack at his home in Freehill, St. Mary, early Sunday morning. Beckford, who spoke with the news via telephone later on Sunday morning, pointed out that the JFB had already mobilized its chaplaincy unit, which would be heading to St. Mary to lend mental health support to team members across the division. He added that firefighters island-wide were in deep sorrow following the murder of one of their own, who was last seen by his colleagues exiting the Port Maria Fire Station after ending his 10 p.m. shift on Saturday. It's a somber mood, one of sadness, coming so soon after the death of firefighter Shaheen Nelson just 2 weeks ago, said Beckford. Nelson succumbed to injuries sustained in a car crash on September 6 in St. Catherine. The way in which Corporal Gary Samuels was killed, I think, would have rattled the members of the St. Mary Division, in particular the Port Maria Fire Station, where he worked up until 10 last night. So he left work, went home, and of course would have been home in his bed when the house that he shared with some other relatives would have been invaded. He was brutally shot and killed. We are not sure of the circumstances that would have led to this, but what we do know is that another member of the household was also killed in this incident. Port Maria police are leading the investigation and they are in touch with us as to how the investigation is progressing. 48-year-old Samuels, who served the JFB for 27 years, was reportedly gunned down along with 26-year-old Barrington Clark by unknown assailants shortly after 1:30 a.m. Sunday during a home invasion in that community. According to police reports, Clark and his common-law wife were at home when they heard several loud explosions coming from the direction of the lower floor of the two-story dwelling. It is alleged that people then went up to the upstairs area and shouted the police. The police said Clark, on hearing the invaders identifying themselves as lawmen, proceeded to open the door. The gunmen then entered the room shared by the couple and questioned them about the whereabouts of another individual. They subsequently opened the fire, hitting Clark all over his body. The attackers fled and Clark's wife reportedly rushed downstairs to seek help when she stumbled upon Samuel's lifeless body in a pool of blood on the ground with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. I am in the process of conveying our deepest sympathy to the wife of Corporal Samuels, who I understand is overseas at this time. It is not an easy thing to digest, it is not an easy thing to deal with generally, and so that is why it's important that we provide whatever support is needed, counseling and or one-on-one sessions. It is not easy to lose a family member, and that's what he is. After working 27 years, he is family, and he was one of those persons who contributed immensely to the fire brigade in the St. Mary Division. And it is hard for them to fathom why this has happened to a person like him, and we need to lend whatever support we can, Beckford said. Cop vows to reduce crime amid the fear among NCU students. A senior cop has vowed that law enforcers will not allow criminals to hold neighboring communities to Northern Caribbean University hostage after news emerged that students who live off campus are worried about their safety following a flare-up of violence in the area. Renox Seavright, NCU's Director of Campus Safety and Security, raised the concerns of the students during a community meeting at Albion Primary School last Thursday evening. He said the students are opting to leave the campus before it gets dark. NCU has one major concern: Albion is neighbor to NCU. NCU students are afraid of Albion. Although many NCU students live in Albion, it is to the extent that many students are afraid to work beyond 5 o'clock because we have a work and study program, he said at a community meeting at Albion Primary School last Thursday evening. They are afraid to come out before sunrise. It not only affects the work and the study program, it affects their general academic program because even when the library is open until 10 p.m., they are not going to be there, he added. Over the past 2 weeks, there have been heightened concerns among Manchester residents after 5 people were killed in the parish. Among the incidents were a double murder in Albion and the killing of a man on Green Street, Knockpatrick. Both the killings were committed at bars in neighboring communities to NCU, where students reside. Seavright pointed out that the university can only accommodate a small percentage of its students on dormitories. We find that we cannot house more than about 10% of the student population on campus. Essentially, 90% of our students are living elsewhere in communities around, he said, while warning of the potential economic fallout for homeowners and the business operators in surrounding communities. If you have properties to rent, then they are not going to use it. We have a program where we try to assist the students finding accommodation, and they don't want to go there. They want to go to other places, so if you help yourselves by ensuring the crime is down, then of course you will be helping us and everybody will be happy, he said. The question really is, what is Albion going to do, or the community going to do? Because the students live just about everywhere, what is Albion and the communities around going to do to give some assurance to NCU students that they can live freely, they can move about freely, and they don't have to be walking and watching behind them, added Seavright. However, Inspector Simon McCormack, sub-officer in charge of Mandeville Police Station, said the constabulary will not allow criminal activity to prevail. People can't educate themselves because of 2 persons who decided to hold the community hostage. Rubbish. You can't hold the community hostage. People need to be educated and uplifted, he said. According to McCormack, a collaboration with political representatives to unite for peace is ongoing in the area. We are not here to spread doom and gloom. Mr. Mayor, I know you are very supportive. Ms. Rhoda Crawford, Manchester Central Member of Parliament, I have heard about a lot of work that you have done. Continue to spread that word because we can get the community back, one way or another. We are on a crime reduction strategy for Manchester, and we are not going to see the steady increase of murders in Manchester. It is not going to happen because we are going to get the support of the community, added McCormack. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.